What's up, Patreon family? It is your girl, Megan. Welcome back. Welcome back. Today, I wanted to talk about angel numbers. Now, I'm pretty sure if you guys are into esoterics, spirituality, new age spirituality, you've heard of angel numbers, okay? Now, technically, the way that they are defined, they're actually numbers that are a repetitive sequence of 3 or 4 digits that seem to appear in random places. You could spot them in the car. You could spot them while you're in the grocery store, when you check your phone, so on and so forth. But they are symbols, right? That are supposed to signify some sort of spiritual or divine message. They're supposed to kind of be reassurances or indicators that either we're headed in the right direction or our guides, our angels, the divine's way of communicating to us and letting us know something about either what's currently happening or what is about to happen. And I wanted to initiate a series discussing the astrological influence of angel numbers, just because when searching angel numbers, especially when I started really getting into it myself, I did not find a lot of information that gave you concrete, practical, real life understandings of what these numbers meant, right? I would see a lot of vague kind of rhetoric or explanations, meaning like, oh, your manifestations are coming true. The divine is letting you know to raise your elevation and vibration for the frequency of the human nation. And it's like, okay, thanks. But what the fuck does that have to do with what I have going on right now? And what concrete way can I apply that to my life, like right now in this moment? What does that mean? Very similar to a lot of like the critique I would have about just certain explanations or interpretations of astrology, which is a different video for a different day. However, today we're going to start with the angel number 555 and once again break down its influence. So that way, those of you guys who have been seeing this number can apply this to your life accordingly. Okay. So 555 as an angel number has 2 corresponding planetary influences. And those 2 planets are Mercury and Venus. When you see 555, it often indicates that you are experiencing or are about to experience a karmic learning curve. This could also signify a spiritual journey. If you are not already on a spiritual journey, one could start. And usually, if you know anything about spiritual journeys, it sounds good, sounds great even. But spiritual journeys are often initiated by conflict. And when you take the number 5 and even apply it to tarot, for those of you guys who are into tarot, all of the 5s deal directly with conflict, things that could leave us wounded, hurt, uncomfortable. The 5 of Wands, the 5 of Swords, so on and so forth, right? It's unstable. It could deal with things that are unstable and relationships that are unstable, right? Conflict, pain, all of these things usually precede growth or some sort of quest, some sort of journey, some sort of voyage for us to assign meaning to the things that happen to us in our lives, okay? So seeing the number 555 could mean that an event, a situation is about to be initiated outside of yourself that honestly you really may not even be in control of. And it could be a signifier that resistance is only going to make it worse, right? Whenever you see 555, the worst thing you could do is resist the changes that are happening to you in that moment, no matter how painful they are. Prayer and communication is also going to be a huge dominating theme when talking about the number 555. It is the universe's way of needing you to be specific about what you want, right? 555 could even signify that, yes, if you have been working on manifesting something, there's more clarification that's needed. So maybe sitting down and writing out the things that you want and literally being very, very specific about it. Could be what's required of you. It could also mean that if you've been doing that type of work, keep holding on, because you're going to notice like a pivotal shift, coming up very soon. 555 could also deal with where one should really focus on increasing or deepening their psychic senses. It could also even point towards situations where your faith is being tested. Once again, major changes and or shifts, which could be triggered by even internal events, but once again, external events that usually carry the 6th frequency. So once again, relationships. And when I say relationships, this doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could be platonic, business relationships, so on and so forth. Now, for example, myself, because I've been seeing this number everywhere for the past few weeks. In my own personal life, I've been undergoing a lot of changes in my just different types of relationships that I've had, which is why, I noticed the number 555 kind of resonated with me so much. So if you yourself are going through these things, maybe that could be a part of why you're seeing it. These shifts can be very rapid and honestly traumatic. They can be traumatic. It may not even really be fun. And I do think when we talk about angel numbers in general, when we talk about spirituality, there is this hyper romanticization. Did I say that word right? That occurs where, people think it's all flowers and roses and, this is a sign of beautiful things to come, which is not necessarily not true. But once again, right? The number 5. And then like seeing it 3 times. Yeah, things could be cute. They may be beautiful, but not without your entire world being flipped upside down first. And the way in which you handle it is going to determine how quickly or seamlessly you're able to kind of reach that destination point or like a desired outcome that you may have. These shifts can be traumatic, but they can also even be exciting, depending on how you want to look at it, right? And seeing 555 could also even mean that there's a needed perspective shift that spirit or God, the universe, your angels are requiring of you, right? The number 5 deals with flexibility. So maybe asking yourself, what part of life can I be a little bit more flexible? What part of life is out of my control? And do I maybe need to roll with the punches? Where can I develop a plan B, C, and D to go along with my plan A? Right? That's very much within the realm of this 555 energy. It can signify instability. Things that were built upon, especially a shaky infrastructure, are going to go right out the window. Instances of miscommunication, being misunderstood, misinterpreted could be very common. And this could even occur on a very simple level in terms of maybe having issues with your phone. Maybe, not receiving an email the way you thought you would or something like that, right? Where the wires of communication can kind of get crossed. So being very intentional, not only in terms of your communication through prayer or with God or with whatever the higher source is, but even with the people around you, once again, having that overtone of relationships, even money. Okay. Finances. A lot of times the number 555 can come with the loss of a job, changing of a job, but maybe the starting of a new one. Because remember, these are shifts that can be very rapid, unexpected, even disappointing, but it could clear the path for something better in the long run. It could deal with health issues, specifically those that involve the nervous system. So seeing the numbers 555 could also be accompanied with high levels of anxiety, restlessness. It could come with having a hard time focusing, or it could point to where you're being really distracted. Maybe that's spirit's way of letting you know that you're entertaining too many distractions at this time. All right. But it could also even signify where if you know that that's not what you've been doing, let's say you've been placing all of your attention and giving all of your time and energy and placing all of your eggs in one particular basket for one particular desired outcome, where maybe you need to, once again, be a little bit more flexible and kind of diversify your interests, where you could have to sidestep your approach to something in order to achieve a desired outcome. It could impact those particularly with anxious attachment styles or attachment issues. There could be problems with releasing control, once again. It could also deal with having to relearn a lesson that you thought you knew. The number 5, because of that Mercury influence, can deal with teaching. So once again, a huge learning curve. It could deal with, once again, the loss of relationships, even property. And this could be due to theft. It could be just, for whatever the reasons are. It could vary depending on who you are and your particular circumstance in life. It essentially pulls the rug from beneath you. It could also point to where we are being tricked, deceived, or manipulated. It could also come with issues with our vehicles, issues with our, once again, telephones and things of that nature, right? The number 555 could also accompany confusion. It could point to where clarity is needed in a situation. So if you see this number, kind of think to what areas of life are not really clear to you. It could also point to where you have to remain open to learn a certain lesson. And once again, this lesson can be a particularly, startling lesson. It can be a painful lesson. This is a period of transience where things have to crumble first in order to come together. It could also signify where we have to learn how to think quick, thinking on our feet, being quick on our feet, bouncing back from a situation. So 555, especially if you've experienced a huge life shift, can be kind of like a signifier that, other things are on the way very soon, or where, maybe you need to get another plan in motion, or maybe you set your intentions and it's just a reassurance that those plans, those things are absolutely on their way to manifesting and coming into fruition as desired. So this concludes my video on the angel number 555. Drop down in the comment section. Let me know if y'all seen the number, and what has your experience been with this angel number. And I will catch y'all in the next video. Bye.